Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Senior Day from the Eden Prairie Community Center. It's the Eden Prairie Eagles and the Hopkins Royals. The festivities have been taken care of, and you know what? Got to give the Eagles a little bit of credit, Bart Archer. They got it wrapped up in due order with a large senior class. A number of these players we've been watching over the course of the years graduating and playing in their last game. You take that, the looks of the likes of Max Argensinger, Sam Pager, Keegan Langfels, Austin Kresbach. You got Jacob Lilliard, Spencer Rudrud, Garrett Smith, Clayton Schultz, Sam Wilhite, Jack Jensen, Carson Jones. I mean, that's 11 of them, just like the Edina Hornets with a couple of managers. Congratulations to them as they make, did I miss one? A.J. Horton as well. That's 12. I'll tell you what, Bart Archer, that's quite the campaign these guys have this year. Seniors, you win with them, you lose with them. You win with them, you lose without them. That's always been my statement here in high school hockey, and they are a senior-laden edition.
Yeah, and some of the underclassmen actually will play for the seniors. They want it to be a memorable year, but that's why the focus keeps coming back on Eden Prairie. Obviously, they've run into a hornet's nest, so to speak, last game, but this is a team that could do some damage in the playoffs. They have plenty of experience. They're getting good goaltending. Their defensive play has been pretty solid, and they have some players that can put the puck in the net, but they were very efficient as far as recognizing the seniors and their parents, of course. And the Zamboni driver kicked it up into a second gear, so
like
we appreciate that.
Like we've never seen before.
Right, he was buzzing around here pretty good, fishtailing all over the place. He was drifting, so to speak.
I see that the brain trust of the Hopkins Royals are making the walk over to their bench. Of course, Archie Skalbeck joined by a great flow on Gino Parrish. He's working the curly locks. He's throwing it out a little bit.
Indeed he is. But Archie Skalbeck, obviously Gino was a terrific player in his own right, but Archie Skalbeck is one of those memorable players that has stuck with me for a long time. He could dangle in traffic, come out with the puck most every time. Very impressive, but he certainly made a memory in my mind anyway. But Hopkins got a challenge tonight, Pete Wagner. Senior night, Eden Prairie motivated after coming off a drubbing from the Edina Hornets. So Hopkins got their hands full today.
Indeed they do. The Lee Smith-led edition now 13-9-2. They'll look to continue their run. The Hopkins Royals now 7-16-1 under first-year coach at the school, Dave Bakken. He, of course, coached at Como and also in the college ranks, I believe, at St. Olaf as well. The Eagles nest. Ethan Myers will get the starting goal. He is 3-5-1 on the season with a 3.60 and an 874 save percentage. Bart Archer. Jack Slatter will be on the blue line for the Royals, and then he'll be joined by number 17, J.J. Martin. Henry Sweeney, keep your eye out for the senior captain. He is a dandy. He'll also be joined up front by number 11, Jack Stussy. And then the sophomore, number 15, Dominic Valentini, will be joining him as well. On the other side of the coin, you have the Eden Prairie Eagles. They'll be in their familiar red, white, and black sweaters. Axel Rosenlund gets the nod in goal. Barty 7-5-1 on the season with a 3.14 and an 886 save percentage. Max Argensinger will be one of the defensemen. Luke Middlestadt will be one of the defensemen. He has a nice season working for him, Bart Archer, 25 points from the back line. Drew Holt, the sophomore. A couple of sophomores getting the nod here for the Eagles up front. Jack Jensen, the future University of Minnesota Golden Gopher, will start up front. And then Sam Wilhite will round out that starting lineup for Lee Smith's Eagles, who's in his 26th season behind the bench. Wow, that's ancient. We'll face this thing off with the Dixie Chicks after the national anthem. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to once again remind you that today's production is presented in part by Shirts Unlimited. That's Shirts Unlimited with a Z.com. Walzer Toyota in Bloomington, right next to Joe Sensors. Be sure to check them out. Walzer, one price, best service. The Tavern 4 and 5. Stop by in the corner of 4 and 5 here in Eden Prairie for all your pre- and post-game needs. Also, Tradition Companies. That's for all your home building, mortgage, wealth management, banking, title, golf, and golf needs. That's traditionco.com. TRIA. All athletes need to make sure they're ready to go, healthy and in good mind and body. Check them out at TRIA.com. And don't forget about Green Mill, Commonwealth, and Prairie Center Drive. Great sports bar, great deep dish pizza. All making it possible here for Eden Prairie High School hockey to be streamed live and online at the mnhockey.tv. We're about ready to get things started. Bart Archer, Royals from left to right. Eagles traveling from right to left as they maintain possession. It's going to be sent up the ice by Luke Middlestat. Holt's going to play this in wide of Slattery. Martin will be there, but he's going to be checked on the play. Holt with it from the corner. Plays back in behind for Wilhite. Wilhite to the slot area. That's off Jensen. Touched ahead, and that gets through the skates of Max Argetsinger. That'll make it into the corner. Henry Sweeney, next level player for the Hopkins Royals with the corner. We've seen a lot of him this year, and he's a beauty. Back of the neutral zone, that's going to be Rainier with the check. I did not see number 3, Tom Gozic, in the lineup. We had them against the Academy of Holy Angels, 32 points, 17 goals for him.
He is dressed.
There he is right there. Good. I didn't see him in the warm-ups. Appreciate it. There he is. He had the deep thigh bruise, a la Cam Neely when Ulf Samuelson caught him. But good to know he's healthy. Cameraman Todd Grover liked the tip of the cap of Ulf, the cheap shot Samuelson. Wilhite, boy, was he brutal.
Yeah,
Remember he'd bury his head down with that. He'd have that face shield, and he'd put his chin into his the top of his shoulder pads. You couldn't punch him.
Turtle with a helmet.
Total, legit. In on goal as Myers hangs on to that one.
Well, pretty good energy from Eden Prairie early in this game. Not a big surprise. As we said, they want to get the train back on the track, so to speak, and get back to playing Eden Prairie hockey, but very aggressive on the forecheck, sending 2 guys on the puck, and the third forward is coming in pretty deep, so they're going to put pressure on this Hopkins team. It's up to them to get out of their zone with efficiency. Might be a challenge today.
John Middlestat in control, wrap around. Oh, he nearly had the back door, as you saw right there.
Well,
Middlestat get up a little bit. They're going to take a couple right away out of the chute.
Well, they're going to keep control of this game as best they can, but it was Ethan Myers that was leaning off the post, but it was John Middlestat that tried to do a little misdirection, tuck it in short side, but Myers did a nice job of closing that door, holding out of that puck, and forcing a face-off to his right, but it looks like it is going to be...
Jones is going to go with Miles Halligan. A couple of roughing minors for each.
Well, it's still going to be 5-on-5, so still... have a full assembly of talent on both sides. But Hopkins, I love the jerseys. Pete, we talk about the jerseys
like
every once in a while. I do. I love the color scheme, and I love the way that they're set up. They look very good.
Dave Bakke is one of your officials. There's a chance in on goal. He's going to keep this thing moving, I think, because he's going to want to get to Lakeville North, where his son is playing on Lakeville South in a big North-South matchup.
Well, there's a little motivator going on.
Perfect timing for him on the schedule there.
Eden Prairie just right to the net on that one, forcing Myers to make a save.
Up to the line it goes. It's going to be played back in by the Eagles. That's Keegan Langfels. Batchelder from the corner, watched by Sweeney. Off the glass. Glove down by Cam Langfels. Back into the corner. Hadley with it. The big frame on the blue line, watched by John Middlestat. The puck will trickle its way into the Eden Prairie zone, and icing will be the call. Bart, got to say, I'm going to try and get us to the midway point of the first period. Then I'm going to be handing the headsets over to Patrick Lilly. I've got a wedding I got to go to. Life does go on beyond high school hockey. I mean, I know people don't believe it. But
life is an interruption to the high school game.
I'll put it this way, if I don't go to this thing, I'll be out on the street, and I don't have any interest in that.
Right. We just appreciate having Pete Wagner as long as we can.
Oh, word, my word. That gets through the legs of Schultz off the end boards. Horton, forechecked by Sweeney. One touch, saved by Rosenlund to the corner. Now Sweeney is bumped by Horton. He comes out of it. Here's Henry Sweeney, wanted to get it up to Slattery. That was deflected away by Jensen's stick. Oh, they spring him. He's dangerous. Oh, a missile that goes up over the glass. Sweeney's in the neutral. tried to guide that one ahead. Checked on the play was Valentini. And now it's going to be handled deep by Jensen. Angles his way to the slot. Nice save by Myers. Went to the butterfly. Took that right off the pads from Lilliard. Now it's Gozic with it. Took it from a feed there from Jake Rainier. Now Slattery will be hurried on the play by Schultz. And now it's going to be Gozic back up through center ice. Gozic stick check there by Horton. Holt comes away with it. He dances over to the right wing side. Here comes Holt, watched on the play. James was there, walks on him. Pad save by Myers. It went so high it brought rain on the way back down. There's a wrist shot blocked by Gozic by Holt off the stick to the corner. That was of Rainier. And now it's going to be bumped off the boards. Picked up now by Jensen. Checked on the play. Gozic gathers in. Here come the Royals in transition. Had a tough time handling. Regroup, get away from Holt. He's going to try and skate into this loose puck as it's swatted back into the neutral zone. Handled now up top of the circle. Argetsinger over for Luke Mittelstadt, who's going to look back to the right wing side for Holt. Takes it off the backhand. He's going to be stick checked by Hadley as he tries to play this one down the wall. Hadley comes back away with it, back in behind the net. Left wing breakout on the stick of Jack Stussy. Now Hadley in to help him. I'll check that was on the stick of David Bragg, rather. Now it's going to be handled. Argetsinger takes it from Luke Mittelstadt. Guides it back over to the right side. Mittelstadt finds Holt. Up through center ice he goes as he's going to work on Jackson James. Drop pass for Wilhite. Try to load it up through the slot area and back up into the neutral zone it goes as it's going to be Argetsinger. Rink wide now, neutral zone for Holt. Stopped at the line. And the Royals will play it to the right wing side. That gets under the stick of Noah Junker. And it's played off the boards. Now handled by Sweeney. Gets underneath Langfeld, the big 6'3" center iceman for the Royals. Terrific season, 18 goals, 17 assists, and 35 points. Deflects that one in, up and out of play it goes. You know, Bart, when you think about the Royals, this is a team that has won 2 late conference games since 2011.
Well,
2! And then 1 year in 2014.
Well, they tend to kind of surface every once in a while, but a very difficult conference.
That's almost a decade.
Wilhite and Holdfor and Jensen were on for about 2.5 minutes, so they're pretty gassed. But you're right, Pete Wagner, every once in a while. But Hopkins is a scrappy team. They can come up and bite you. They have some players that can play. I'm
not saying that STMA and Buffalo are going to be pushovers, but they've got to be thanking their lucky stars. They got a little bit of something other than EP, Tonka, and Edina, and Wyzetta.
Well, it helps with the development of the program. When you play good teams, it makes your team better. 2
wins and a tie for this team in late conference play since 2011, and that was all in the same year in 14. Back up to the line it goes. Batchelder turned aside by Myers. His brother Jake was on that team. Now I'll go rink wide up high for Keegan Langfels. Down the wall it goes. It's going to be Slattery with it. Next break, we're going to do the pit stop change. I feel like an injured NASCAR driver. I got my laps in, and now my guy Patrick Lilly and I are going to finish up a winner.
Who wants to go fast?
That one's deflected up and over. We'll turn it over, Bart. You're going to talk while we change out the headsets.
I'd be happy to do that, but Eden Prairie showed some good energy. They really have a lot better structure to their game. They're forcing the play, and they're not chasing the play at all. Hopkins doing a pretty good job of defending. In fact, Myers has been challenged early in this contest, but he's risen the occasion on both times. But Eden Prairie certainly has some energy. 50-50 puck, Eden Prairie. And this is Horton. Eden Prairie gains its zone. Ooh, shot just wide. This is a long pit stop, P. Wagner. But good forecheck by Eden Prairie to bottle the play up. They virtually cut the rink in half, so Hopkins really having trouble getting not only out of their zone but navigating through the neutral zone. But again, 2 guys in the puck for Eden Prairie. Ooh, shot by Krebsbach. And Hopkins just clears it out of the zone, but cut off by Schultz. Schultz turns it back up inside the blue line, takes a rip. Oh, I think that not only hit the glove of Myers, but went off the crossbar up and out of play. So face-off should be actually in the Hopkins Royal zone. To Myers, looks like it's going to be on the right side of Myers, but Eden Prairie elects to change lines. Now it's going to be the Jensen, Holt, and Wilhite line going against Sweeney. Should be interesting in the face-off. Patrick, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Bart. Good to be along with you. Welcome up. Hello, everybody. Welcome inside the Eden Prairie Community Center. Thanks, Pete, for having us along this afternoon. It's Jensen driving through the slot, loses control of the puck. Of course, Jack Jensen, what a season he's had. Bart scored his 30th goal against Minnetonka in that loss on Thursday night. This one flipped up and out of play. So tell us a little bit about Jensen's play and how he's achieved this great milestone with those 30 goals this season.
Well, 30 goals is quite a lofty plateau that he's reached, but he's also a focused player. He's a player that each opposing team comes in and tries to shut down, so the fact that he can get to that number, being shadowed and being a primary, is very, very impressive. But if you're on the ice with Jensen, always be ready for a pass no matter where you are, because he can thread that puck through a needle, but a very skilled player.
Play pushed through the far side corner and chipped out back to neutral ice where Mitch Kaplan will try, rather that's Jack Stussy will try to chase it down for Hopkins. We remain scoreless here, 10:22 to go in the first period. And of course the John Sands, Todd Grover, and Mr. Bart Archer standing to my right here at the community center. Pushed back out into the neutral zone where the Royals will control it as Mario Hadley chips it down to the near side. And sizing things up is Stussy as he gets this one. Rather, that's J.J. Martin as he gets it out into the neutral zone. And now chip back into the Royal zone where out of his net to take a look at it is Myers. And back around to the near side, back through the neutral zone into the offensive zone of the Royals as the cross-ice pass by Gozic was knocked up back along the bench area. Hopkins, though, able to maintain the offensive zone. It was Gozic on the near side. Gozic's shot deflected up into the netting.
Well, Gozic actually saw, I believe it was Haberman that was sneaking in on the left side, but a nice busy stick by Luke Middlestadt. Ramstead went up and out of play, so faceoff is going to be the Eden Prairie zone, but Hopkins with some offensive zone time. They had some space. They just couldn't complete the sequence on that pass, but encouraging for Coach Bakken to get some offensive zone time. But Eden Prairie very strong in the dots early in this first period.
Cam Langfeld gets it down to Carson Jones on the near side. With Jones, one of those 12 seniors being honored this afternoon. Bart, I think you and I were here for Senior Day last year, and it was just about 5 jerseys up in that corner underneath the flag. So much different scene this year as we
You are correct.
Come in for Senior Day this year as Gozic into the offensive zone for Hopkins. He tries to center it. Rosen able to make the save as it's poked back out toward neutral ice, and then again able to be held in by Hopkins. Rosenlund, who had that tough game on Thursday night against Edina, was pulled during that game, looking to rebound. He's certainly hasn't seen a lot in front of him yet as we're under 9 minutes to go here in this first period.
Well, Patrick, in his defense, Edina came in a lot of different waves. He made a number of very acrobatic and very athletic saves against Edina. I'm not sure he got pulled because of his play, but I think Coach Lee Smith just wanted to change the dynamic, and sometimes that can change the focus on your team. So I don't think it was anything against Rosenlund, but Ben Billis came in and did a nice job as well.
This one played down in deep by Clayton Schultz as it works its way back around the Royals net up into the corner where Miles Halligan trying to force this one up ahead. Back out through the neutral zone. Into the offensive zone, Halligan able to chip this one down in as it's played around behind the net by the Eagles. Pushed up toward Krebsbach. Krebsbach gets this one off ahead.
Ooh,
Batchelder, and Batchelder's shot deflected up into the netting. A nice save by Ethan Myers.
Well, Myers came out just past the blue. He didn't overcommit on that one, but it was Batchelder who put it between the wickets at the blue line, went in all alone. In a left-handed shot, tried to pull it back to the forehand and go up and over the shoulder blocker side on Myers. But Myers challenged him just enough to get enough on that puck to ramp it up and out of play. So face off to the right. We're 8:13 left in this first period. We're still scoreless, but Eden Prairie's had a couple pretty good looks.
First period sponsored by Tria Orthopedics. All athletes need to make sure they are ready to go and healthy. Visit tria.com for more information. As play continues along the far side boards, Hopkins with it as a stick taken away. Here's into the offensive zone. Back come the Eagles. It's sent back out to neutral ice. Well, Schultz back there with it. He'll send it back into his own zone to the far side where Middlestadt gets this one ahead with Batchelder, and that's knocked off the puck as he enters the offensive zone, able to maintain possession. His centering feed, though, blocked and pushed back into the corner.
That was a nice stick by Hadley on that one. Otherwise, that might have been a point-blank opportunity. So good defense by the Royals so far.
Seen a lot of good play out of the Royals thus far. Certainly out of the goaltending as well as some good play by the defense as well. Haven't really seen many scoring opportunities at the offensive end, but thus far they've been able to keep Eden Prairie off the scoreboard, which that's the first challenge to overcome if you're going to be the Royals this afternoon. And the Royals taking possession of it in their own zone. This one sent through neutral ice by Slattery. It'll work its way all the way back into the Eagle zone. David Bragg laying this one back around to the corner. 7:05 to go here in this first period as Jensen will play it around his net, and then knocked off the puck as he started to make his way up ice next to his own net. And Slattery able to push this one back into the corner where the Eagles with it. Argetsinger have it there. He sent back out to neutral ice. Holt with it. Holt will send this one up to Jensen on the far side. Jensen comes in offside, so take a minute to talk about Holt and Batchelder, two players who have come on as sophomores and made huge impacts and will certainly be stalwarts of the Eden Prairie core for 2 more years to come following.
Yeah, they're going to grab the torch and continue this Eden Prairie successful program, but Holt has really next-level speed, and Batchelder has some tremendous offensive skill and can skate like the wind, so pretty good hands moving forward, but they got a job to do today.
Yes, Henry Sweeney plays this one around for Hopkins. It's Langfels trying to get it out of there, but Hopkins again making life difficult for Eden Prairie on the zone exit and driving the other way, and then getting knocked off the puck as he entered the zone with John Middlestead. Back into the offensive zone is Sweeney. Sweeney gets fought off the puck as he tried to drive. That was Langfels with a nice play as this one sent all the way down the ice, and we'll have a nice and calling a face-off back in the Eden Prairie zone. 6:17 to go in the first period.
Well, number 7 in the blue is a focused player, and as you said, it's Henry Sweeney, senior. 18 goals on the year so far, but if there's a forward push by Hopkins, generally he's the one that will do that. But Cam Langfels did a nice job of playing the body, not the puck, and really limited his forward progress, and that's what they're going to have to do tonight. Very responsible play by Cam Langfels on the back line for Eden Prairie.
The Eagles break through the neutral zone. This one sent down toward the near side. Middlestead, though, can't quite catch up to it. The Royals and Sweeney able to push it back into the Eagle zone. The Eagles looking to break out back through neutral ice. Once again, here's Middlestead into the offensive zone. Nice pass to Rudrud, whose shot is saved by Myers. It works its way behind the net. Comes back around to the near side. It's a shot from the point. That one's saved again by Myers.
Boy, nice placement of the rebound on that one, too.
You know, it's Langfels who let that initial shot go from the blue lines and played back to the point in front of the Hopkins bench. Schultz out of the near side. There's a shot. That one saved again by Myers. That was Langfels again. Langfels looking for another opportunity. This one blocked. Langfels, though, will maintain possession. He'll work his way around the net. Get it to Rudrud behind the net. Rudrud looking to center. Middlestead with a high shot over the net off the glass. Yes, Jake Reiner able to play this one out of the zone. Eden Prairie will have to play it in deep in their own zone as Schultz trying to play it behind him to Horton. Horton next to his own net. Horton gets it back out to the neutral zone. Lilliard trying to get it up ahead. As Horton once again having to retreat into his own zone as Gozic making life difficult for one of the Eden Prairie seniors. Is into the offensive zone is Batchelder. Batchelder gets knocked off the puck as he started to drive toward the net. It comes out to Horton. Horton with a shot through traffic. That'll go wide off the end boards. And we're back up to the far side boards. As Hopkins fights through it, into the corner they go. They're now able to be flipped out all the way through neutral ice. And we'll go for an icing. Kind of wanted to slow up at the last moment.
Yeah, he didn't have any nip on that shot, but that was Hadley who actually just sent it down the ice, tried to relieve a little bit of pressure, but kind of a shooting gallery for Eden Prairie. Really not many shots on goal, but they had some very good looks, and it was all spearheaded from Keegan Langfels initially, and then it was John Middlestead who had a point-blank opportunity, ramped it up and out of play. So if Eden Prairie can get some of these shots on goal and force Myers to make some save, that'll be exactly what they want, but they're getting their opportunities. They just have to pay particular attention to get them on net.
That centering feed just sneaks through Wilhite, who had snuck through in the slot. Then back out to neutral ice as Argetsinger able to play it back into the offensive zone. It comes out front, and there's a shot that was blocked out front. A good job by getting down there with the body by J.J. Martin. He blocked that shot.
Well, J.J. Martin really brings a nice wrinkle to this team, and I'm sure that Coach Parrish, Skalback, and Bach can really like his play. It just seems like J.J. Martin's on the ice. If Jack Jensen's line is on the ice, J.J. Martin generally is out there as well, but very sturdy defenseman, makes the right plays. Coaches can put him out in any situation and have confidence.
This first period also brought to you by Walzer Toyota in Bloomington, right next to Joe's Sensors. One price, best service. As Hopkins back out through the neutral zone into the offensive zone is Sweeney up the near side. Sweeney sneaks this one through. That one saved by Rosenlund. It works its way back out to neutral ice on the carom. It's back down to try to pick it up are the Royals as Wilhite able to chip this one in deep. Slattery will play it behind his own net and then intercepted by the Eagles in their own offensive zone. Jensen reversing direction, trying to play it through along those far side boards as the Royals able to take it away again. And chipped out ahead towards Sweeney out of his reach. It'll come down to the corner. Sweeney will play it there. Yes, Luke Middlestead trying to knock that puck away from him, and it will be sent into the offensive zone. Here's Jensen. Couldn't quite work his way around the defender. Sweeney will take it at the red line and play it down in deep. 3:12 to go in the first period. No score. Eden Prairie and Hopkins You're on mnhockey.tv. As a turnover in the zone, it's loose out front. And poked back out by the other way by the Eagles into the neutral zone. It's Rudrud up the far side boards. Rudrud working his way around the net, trying to center, jamming away at it, poked away by Myers. There's a shot that'll go wide. And the chance is continuing to come for Eden Prairie, but still yet to find the back of the net. Hopkins really made it getting their best look at the net on the previous sequence.
Well, Keegan Langfels from the right hash mark put that shot wide. He wanted to go low glove side, so I like the idea. Got to get him on goal.
Gazic, as he gets tripped up as he tried to work his way around Cam Langfels.
They let that one go.
Well, no penalty assessed on that one, as Bart just said, and that draws a couple jeers from the Hopkins faithful here at the Eden Prairie Community Center. That centering feed was blocked. Well, the Royals able to maintain the zone. There's a shot that was saved by Rosenlund. A long shot from the blue line by Hadley. That's sent back out into the neutral zone. The Royals able to play this one back in deep. And they'll go for an icing. We'll have a face-off. 2:04 to go in the first period.
Well, nice effective forecheck by the Hopkins Royals. They actually bottled Eden Prairie up in their zone, moved the puck out to the front of the net, just couldn't corral it, get on the stick to put a shot on. But Roseland with a nice save on a shot from Hadley, put the rebound into the corner in an area of safety. So nice job by the Eden Prairie goaltender. Hadn't been called on much, but answered the bell on that occasion. Face-off all the way down. Now to Myers left. Just 2:04 left in the scoreless first period.
Face-off pushed toward Myers, and he's forced to dive on it. We'll have another offensive zone face-off for the Eagles.
Well, that's one thing Hopkins is going to have to do a little better. It was Will High waiting in the wings. Myers juggled that puck a little bit. They're going to have to block out and keep those very hungry Eden Prairie forwards away from those second chance opportunities.
It's Jensen able to win the face-off. There's a shot that's blocked, and I think that might have actually caught Wilhite instead.
He felt it, too.
Oh, he sure did. He's a little bit slow to get up. He's up and running now, though, or skating, as the kids would correct me on since we're on ice. Right. Hopkins able to get out of the defensive zone as Sweeney able to play this one up to the far side corner. Horton gets to it first ahead of Stussy. Right back toward the net. We played around by the Eagles. Horton sent it down to the near side. Sent out to the neutral zone. Went out ahead of Holt. The Royals poke it back toward Horton. Horton into the offensive zone for Eden Prairie. Horton will play it back behind him for Holt, and he just missed on that shot.
Boy, right off the bucket, too.
Absolutely, as it plays its way back around into the corner. Wilhite battling there with Gazic. It's Jensen able to come out with it. Jensen pokes it back toward the point and unable to hold that one in as Horton. Horton will race to track it down deep in his own zone. So go under a minute to go in this first period. It's Jake Renier trying to force another offensive zone turnover. The Royals looking to play this one back the other way. That one just out of the reach of Gazic, and he would have caught Eden Prairie on a line change if he would have been able to catch up to that one.
Well, it was Halligan that actually aggressively off the boards. If he could have taken a little bit off, it would have been Gazic going in all alone as Eden Prairie was trying to shuffle some players around getting a line change, but a bullet dodged by Eden Prairie. Now offensive zone face-off. It's going to be Batchelder against, it looks like it's going to be Gazic. Eden Prairie wins.
It's poked up into the corner. Rudrick comes out with it, and there's a shot that was saved and chipped up over the net by Myers.
You know, that was a pretty good save by Myers. Tried to go short side just under the bar, but he made his body big. Big save at a crucial time for Hopkins.
We pushed back down into the Eden Prairie zone where Langfell's looking to catch up to it. Still loose in the corner, and played behind the net. Up in the corner where Batchelder almost knocked that puck away, but Renier able to keep it in that corner, and now held in at the point by Jackson James. It's Renier getting tied up as Eden Prairie comes out with it under 10 seconds to go. One last rush perhaps for the Eagles, 5 seconds to go. A good job by Jackson to slow that one up, and Myers has to make one last save as the first period comes to an end.
Boy, that's probably Eden Prairie's best opportunity at that point. It wasn't just the first save, but the follow-up save right at the buzzer. Myers kept that puck out of the net. I think if you're Coach David Bakken for the Hopkins Royals and his coaching staff, I think you have to feel pretty good about the way you played that period. They dodged a couple bullets, but if you're Coach Lee Smith, you have to like the way, I'm assuming that you would have to like the way that your team played. They had a lot of good forward push. They defended quite well. They got out of the zone pretty efficiently, but overall pretty good period for both teams. I look for it to open up just a tad more in the second period with the long line changes, Patrick.
Absolutely, and maybe if you're Eden Prairie, you know, you've got those senior day butterflies. Now you've got a period in the books. You can go in the locker room, kind of settle down a little bit. And there was a little bit of, in that first period, the pass is not quite as crisp as maybe you would hope if you're Lee Smith, so maybe something to think about as well as we go to the first intermission, Bart.
No question about it. But I just the way that they played in their own zone against the Edina Hornets, they tended to lose their structure intermittently, and they chased the play. I'm really not concerned about that so far, but I was impressed with Hopkins. Once they got the puck into the zone, their forecheck was very effective. Really made Eden Prairie uncomfortable and had them kind of move the puck a little bit quicker than they wanted. So if they can kind of continue on that. But again, I thought Hopkins did a pretty good job of contesting the Jensen line. They had their moments in the offensive zone, but really didn't get into the scoring area. So I think Hopkins played a pretty responsible first period defensively.
Absolutely. So we'll go to the first intermission here at the Eden Prairie Community Center. No score between Eden Prairie and Hopkins. You're watching MNHockey.tv, your home for the 2AA semifinals and finals, and your radio home for coverage from St. Paul this March. Take a break, first intermission, and be right back.
Hockey continues right here on MNHockey.tv, along with Chad Schumacher. He's the owner of Tradition Wealth Management. I'm Pete Wagner, between periods. And Chad, I always enjoy these chats because you've got one heck of a juggernaut working here at Tradition Wealth Management. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Let's talk a little bit about who is Tradition Wealth Management, what you guys do, and give me a little bit of a history lesson on how all this started for you.
Great, thanks, Pete. Yeah, we've been around since 2003. One of my best friends who was in the business, Jake Annebeck, they own Tradition Companies. We played against each other. We were in high school. They were looking to branch out and get another avenue company going, and we got together, and Tradition Wealth Management's been here since 2003.
It's amazing. You guys locked horns in high school, and you still are, aren't you? With the little Lakeville South, Lakeville North action.
Correct, yeah. There is only one part of Lakeville, right? So.
Sorry. I was say who's winning the battle. I guess I don't need to go there.
Yeah,
so as far as your office is concerned, is there future growth? I mean, how many employees do you have, and where are you guys located?
Yeah, right now we have offices here in Edina, Woodbury, downtown St. Paul, and we recently opened up North Oaks, and Wayzata will be opening up in February. So we have 20 people now. We're probably going to go to 25 to maybe 30 over the next 5 years.
Look at you going to Wayzata Street, as I like to call it. Yeah. Wow, very impressive. The cash center of the West Metro. What makes Tradition Wealth Management unique, Chad?
Well, I'd say certainly our people. I mean, I got the best staff. Everybody says that, but everybody's been here, for almost 20 years. It's, being specialized in there. We really specialize that each different person has their own plan, and everybody goes through a plan. So we try to separate it. We've kind of created a private family office for people that don't need a private family office and take care of all public securities. Most of our clients have been here, 10 plus years, if not, since we've been in the business. So we feel very fortunate. And now we recently opened up our sports management division for some of the athletes that we're working for. And so, we really want to make sure we can help all those people stay on the right path as well.
So as far as the type of personnel that you have here, you touched on that a little bit earlier there. What makes them unique? What do you look for in the people that you bring in here?
Well, obviously they're going to have a passion. We don't want it just to be just a job. People pay us a lot of money to make sure that their money's in good hands, that the service is impeccable, that we do nothing but have a positive attention to their accounts. We realize that we're going to have ups and downs all the time, but as long as we stay consistent, we're going to tend to keep people for a long time at our firm.
Yeah, I think you guys have a unique way of reaching out. One of the things Scott Boyning said from the bank side of things, it's really big time word of mouth. And if you take care of your people, that's what happens. I'm sure that's part of what your strategy too as well is. But what else have you guys done? Can you talk on your network a little bit and how you've built that out?
Yeah, well, over the years, obviously it's a small community. Whether it's hockey or a lot of people know everybody in there. You can have a reputation for 25 years and lose it in one day. So you always got to be on top of your game. We practice what we preach. We're in the community all the time. I'm on the board of Hopkins, which is a local charity for kids who have life-threatening illnesses. We have Tradition Pass It On. We're always out there trying to help give back.
And by giving back, so many people have benefited from that. And, I know it's from those exercises that not only myself, but others are now aware of your great company.
Yeah, no, it's been very fortunate. We're blessed to have good people not only here at Tradition Wealth Management, but all the other brands that are out there. So, a lot of the networking is just done intercompanies with our clients, and they know that they're going to get top-notch attention. And so, naturally, it's a good fit for them to be introduced to us. And yeah, it's been a very blessed place to work.
So you have a lot of growth that's going on. You're obviously opening another office out in Wayzata. How much have you seen your world here grow as far as maybe the past year or so, as obviously things are humming along pretty well? How have you guys been impacted that way?
Yeah, we're having a record year as far as the people that we're working with. There's a lot of volatility in the market. There's a lot of people selling companies. There's a lot of money in motion. So we have various things that we run into all the time. There's always enough to stay busy. And yeah, I mean, we're trying to get to $1 billion here in the next couple of years. So we have a little bit ways to go here in the next couple of years, but with I think some of these new places that we're opening up, there's plenty of people that we can help, and I know that a lot of people need the help.
Finally, how do I get a hold of you at Tradition Wealth Management?
You can call our main office line, which is 952-563-6500, and they can get a hold of you. Our website is www.traditionwealth.com, and my individual email address is chads@traditionwealth.com.
I have to say that through personal experience, this is a great organization to work with. It's very personalized. It's worth it. Give it a call. Why not? You're already on the air with us during the hockey games. Make it even better. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
Once again, it's Chad Schumacher. He's the owner of Tradition Wealth Management. We'll have more action coming up for you right after this. Securities offered through Pro Equities, Inc., a registered broker-dealer, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Tradition Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Tradition Wealth Management, LLC is independent of Pro Equities, Inc.
I'm Callie Funk. I'm the program director for the Herb Brooks Foundation, and I've been with the foundation since January of 2017, so a little over a year and a half. I think that Herb Brooks would be very proud of the program. He always talked about building it from the ground up, and I think that's exactly what we're doing here. We're having youth participate, and they can start whenever they'd like, and we're not trying to make that pyramid. We're trying to just keep the base growing all the way up, and I think he'd really be proud of what we're doing here.
The Herb Brooks Foundation started the Rink Rat program over 10 years ago to give the kids a chance to play the game my dad loves so much. Our Rink Rat program is supposed to be fun. Gotta smile. Remember, it's just a game. Get out and exercise. Play all year round. Play on the ice. Play in your driveway. Play at school. We just hope that you love the game.
So we really try to emphasize the importance of Herb Brooks and the 1980 Miracle team within our program. Herb Brooks stood for a lot of different valuable life lessons, and so we really want to instill the importance of positivity, teamwork, and really coming together as a team in order to meet one common goal.
The Herb Brooks Foundation started the Rink Rat program over 10 years ago. We started it to really keep my dad's legacy alive with children. His philosophy always was to give the game back to the kids and learn to love the game the way he grew up playing, and that was with his buddies out on Lake Phelan, playing street hockey, just those pickup games. And we wanted to have that atmosphere built in for these young children. Instead of structured association hockey, we wanted to get the kids back playing. At the end of the Rink Rat session, we hope kids take away from the program, number one, friends. I hope they made friends and had fun. And we hope they have a true love for the game, the way that we love the game. We have had several kids go on to play association hockey from our inner city Rink Rat programs. We've educated parents on how to enroll their kids in association hockey. Some of them didn't even know there was such a thing.
So we currently are mostly involved in Minneapolis, and that's all areas of Minneapolis. We have a couple schools in North Minneapolis, South Minneapolis, Northeast, and in St. Paul. Last winter we were working out of Phelan, Harding, and the new Tria rink in St. Paul. So we really try to cover a broad area so that we can include as many kids as possible. So the best way I think to reach out and get involved would be to visit our website, herbrooksfoundation.com. You can find all of our information about the Rink Rats programs, any clinics we have in the spring or summer or fall. You can also find contact information for the foundation as well as many different links to pictures, events such as the Sticks in Stillwater, the golf tournament, Let's Play Hockey Expo, and there's also a good following for our volunteer base as well.
On that one, Gilmore's caddy. Just kidding.
Hi everybody, welcome back inside the Eden Prairie Community Center. Is about to drop the puck here on the second period. No score between Eden Prairie and Hopkins. And Bart, you and I talking about Hopkins played a very strong first period defensively and started to get some of those offensive chances going later in the period as well.
Well, I think coming into a hostile environment, the first thing you want to do is establish your method of operation in your own zone. The quicker you can master your own zone or at least exit your zone efficiently, everything else seems to fall into place. I think in the neutral zone, I think Eden Prairie was a little bit better, had a little bit more speed with possession, but I liked what I saw at Hopkins. They survived a couple trying moments, but now we have the long line changes. In this period, anything can kind of happen. So obviously I think Hopkins, with the speed on this Eden Prairie team, I think it's very important that Hopkins gets off the ice a little bit earlier, gets those fresh legs on. So the coaching staff for the Royal team is going to have some challenges as far as trying to get the right personnel out on the ice against the Eden Prairie talented forwards, and there's an abundance of them as well. But I like the way that Hopkins played. I like their level of compete. They never quit on the plays, and they really contested Eden Prairie all the way up the ice, and that's what you want from a coaching staff. If you're Coach Lee Smith, I'm assuming that you're pretty happy with the way that your team played. A couple things in the own zone as far as exits might need to be just ironed out a little bit, but I think overall Eden Prairie showed up and played a very sound period. Getting ready for period number 2.
We set to drop the puck. This period sponsored by Tavern on 4 and 5. Stop by for all your pregame and postgame needs. As Eden Prairie controls the opening face-off. And then Holt got a nice job of getting him tied up. I think that was Matt Stussy who got him tied up. It's a long shot that'll go off the end boards there. It'll come back around to the near side. The centering feed goes off the side of the net. It comes back around to the far side, near side corner. As Holt battling down there as he has Martin tying him up, and Hopkins able to come back the other direction with it, back out to neutral ice. Sweeney into the offensive zone. A good job to get in front of him by Luke Middlestead as Middlestead takes the puck away from him. Middlestead into the neutral zone. Here's Will Hyde up the near side, back to Middlestead. Middlestead with a shot save by Myers. Works his way back up to the far side. Here come Hopkins, 2-on-1 the other direction into the offensive zone. They score!
Well, it's going to be Gossage that's going to score that one. That's his 18th of the season, but it was 2-on-1 coming out of the Eden Prairie zone, or coming out of the Hopkins zone, and it was Gossage that just used his speed. He kind of looked off the defender. The defender drew over to the weak side, and he just put a shot up and over Rosenland's glove side shoulder. So Hopkins with an early lead in this second period, up to Eden Prairie to respond. But as we said for Gossage, it's goal number 18.
And that ties him for the team lead with Henry Sweeney at 18 apiece. That goal coming at 55 seconds here of the second period. Gossage puts Hopkins ahead 1-0 here early in the second period. It's going to be up to the Eagles to respond.
Well, and Jackson James gets the primary assist on that one. That was just 54 seconds into the second period. Not the start that Coach Lee Smith wanted, but if you're David Bach and coach of the Royals, you have to feel pretty good about your position right now. Now they just have to sustain it.
That long shot kicked aside by Myers comes back out to the point. There's Arget-Singer. Arget-Singer with a wide shot. It deflected off a player, unable to be held in by the Eagles. And Langfels retreats into the neutral zone, loses control of it almost in front of an on-charging Gossage. And here come the Eagles into the offensive zone. There's a shot. They score as a prompt response by the Eagles. Max Arget-Singer ties the game.
And for Arget-Singer, that's going to be his first goal of this season. But it was John Middleset that actually took the initial shot that went wide, hitting the rewind button a little bit. It caught him in a soft spot, and he took some time to get off the ice, so we'll keep an eye on number 9 in the white. But nice response by Eden Prairie, and that's Max Arget-Singer on senior night, ties this game with his first goal of the campaign.
Kind of makes you wonder, Hopkins getting that early goal, and maybe that finally was the wake-up call the Eagles needed. We'll see how things play out here in the second period as it goes along. 15:24 and counting to go in the second period. Game now tied at 1, and Eden Prairie, we saw, had that bevy of offensive chances there in that first period, just unable to take advantage of any of them with that stellar play by both Ethan Myers as well as the Hopkins defensive core. They're pushed back into the Eagle zone where Horton will retreat behind his net. He'll send it back up into the corner. He'll take it back now from Schultz. It's Horton. Horton will play it back to Schultz. Schultz trying to spring Batchelder, but that was off of his stick. He poked ahead toward Batchelder. Batchelder will chase it down in the offensive zone. He's got Krebsbach with him. Batchelder circles around. Batchelder still with it. Works his way back. Sends a cross-ice pass. That one out of the reach of Schultz. Schultz with a shot saved by Myers, and dives on it.
Boy, he rocketed that. It was Batchelder that rocketed that pass over to Schultz. He took it off the wall and then dangled to the middle, tried to get a little bit better angle, put a shot on Myers, but nice job by Myers to keep that puck out of the net. But it was Arget-Singer with his first from Jones and Cam Langfels at 128. So just 34 seconds later, Eden Prairie responds back. That's what good teams do. We're not at it 1.
As Hopkins controls the face-off, is sending this one back out to neutral ice is Dominic Valentini. It'll work its way back as the backhander by Sweeney. It's saved by Rosenlund as it comes back around to the near side. As Middlestead able to play this one through neutral ice all the way down into the corner. Middlestead will get to it behind the net. Middlestead centering, feed saved by Myers. Swept back out to the neutral zone as it gets past Langfells, who have to chase it back down in his own zone.
That shot had some velocity. It was a Jensen that put a slapper on, but Myers, the rebound came all the way out to neutral ice. Boy, what a big save that was for Myers at a trying moment.
Langfells plays this one, and that goes awkwardly off the side of the net as Wilhite almost caught up to it first off that awkward bounce as Wilhite almost comes out of the scrum with the puck once again. It works its way back around to the near side corner. Argetsinger unable to hold the zone as the Royals able to poke it back out. Valentini pokes it ahead toward Gozic. Gozic will battle with Argetsinger up on the far side boards. Argetsinger will play it back around to the near side for Wilhite. Wilhite back out into the neutral zone. It'll work its way back into the Hopkins zone. We're back to pick it up as Hadley. Hadley with Holt behind him will play this one as Jensen slips and falls. And then a pass trying to get it to Holt is out of his reach. It's deflects up into the netting.
Well, Hadley kind of pressed with the forecheck for Eden Prairie, but I believe it was Wilhite that tried to push the puck up to Holt, but the puck just kind of rolled on him a little bit into the corner. Otherwise, it would have been Holt all alone on Myers. So a bit of a break for the Hopkins Royals. Offensive zone faceoff for Eden Prairie. Big faceoff for this Royals team. It's going to be John Middlestead. Nice to see him back against Mitch Kaplan.
The face-off pushed back down toward the corner as John Middlestead almost took that one away as well. Royals looking to bring it back up ice. Here they come the other direction with David Bragg. Bragg will send this one up into the corner, and they're going to call an icing on that one.
Well, Bragg just didn't achieve the checkered line, and it was Argetsinger that was staring him in the face, so he got rid of that puck just a little bit earlier than he wanted to. But Eden Prairie, again, another offensive zone faceoff. Hopkins really tempting fate. You don't want to have too many offensive zone faceoff. They're very competent faceoff center iceman for this Eden Prairie Eagles squad, and they won that one too.
Rodrug gets it back to Argetsinger, sent back up toward Cam Langfells. Langfells' shot got through, but it was sent wide. And if the Royals send it back out to neutral ice, Cam Langfells back to get it, gets it down to Argetsinger. Argetsinger sends this one back out to neutral ice, where it's off the stick of John Middlestead as the Royals able to send it back in deep to the Eden Prairie zone. Argetsinger back to get it behind his own net. Play it to Cam Langfells. This one ahead toward John Middlestead. Middlestead at the blue line trying to fight his way through a couple of Royals, those being Sweeney and Martin. That centering feed almost got to Rudru, but he was tied up at the last second. Royals the other direction with Valentini. Valentini, though, had the puck poked away from him. Centering feed for Sweeney, whose shot was saved by Rosenlund. Boy, that was a great setup there as Sweeney had worked his way free in the middle and was able to get a good shot off on Rosenlund.
Yeah, it was a nice sequence by Hopkins, and they got it to the player they wanted right in the scoring area. A nice redirect by Sweeney, but the puck stayed out of the net, so a bit of a break for Eden Prairie.
The Eagles back the other direction into the offensive zone. Krebsbach working his way around it, and it's Lilliard. Lilliard will send it toward the net where it's poked back to the corner. 11:45 to go here in the second period. We'll send it back to the far side corner. There's a Lilliard trying to get it toward Krebsbach as it works its way in free in the slot and just swept away from the on-charging A.J. Horton, and will go for an icing.
Well, that was Dominic Valentini that actually sent that puck down the ice. It was really a good play. They'd been out for a while, some tired legs. But as you said, the Eden Prairie defenseman was going to step up and put a good shot on Myers. So a nice job of adjusting and recovering for Hopkins Royals. But again, another defensive zone faceoff for Hopkins.
Batchelder wins the faceoff, and he'll come out of the circle with it. He'll work his way as he loses control of the puck as he tried to circle the net. But, man, showing off that speed as he gets it back to Lilliard at the point. Lilliard's shot goes wide, comes his way back around to the near side corner. Bart, you had talked about the speed of Batchelder early on when we talked about the future of this EP team going forward, and he sure showed it off there.
Well, absolutely. They're in good hands moving forward, but there's a lot of players on this Eden Prairie team that can get around the ice in a hurry. It creates all kinds of problems for the team they're playing against.
Holt able to get it to Krebsbach behind the net, back to the point. Schultz. Jensen winds up. He'll get his own rebound back. It's Horton at the blue line. Bring it back up to Schultz. Schultz through the middle as it got through to Myers, who made the save. As Hopkins finally able to set up and clear the offensive zone. As Gozic gets knocked off the puck, and getting a big hit as he chipped this one down in was Haberman, has worked his way into the corner. Come the Eagles, they might have caught Hopkins on a line change. Jensen working his way in. Oh, what a move, and then he whiffed on the shot attempt. Jensen gets it back down to Horton. Horton with a shot, centering feed, they score!
Well, it was Horton that actually took the shot. I don't know if it was Will Hyde or Jensen that redirected it right in front of Myers. So a late deflection, very hard for a goaltender to make those adjustments. It looks, I'm going to probably guess that it was Will Hyde. It could have been Jensen. I don't think Eden Prairie cares. They're up by one, just 10-18 left in the second period. But a nice goal it was, but Myers really didn't have a chance. He squared up to the original shot, but that's what redirects can do, is they can cause fits for the opposing goaltender, and that's exactly what happened. We'll wait for the official scoring.
Yes, the Eagles have their first lead as they fell behind right away here in the second period. That goal at 55 seconds by Gozic for Hopkins, but answers from Argetsinger. We'll give it to Jensen. That'll be his 31st of the season. So Jensen gives Eden Prairie their first lead, and look out, here's a shot from Wilhite that'll go wide off the end board. Centering feed comes back out to Wilhite for another shot that he lifts over the top of the net. As Hopkins sets up, here's Bragg. He'll send this one all the way through for an icing.
Well, again, Eden Prairie's starting to kind of amp it up a little bit. They start feeling comfortable when they have a lead. They're a nice front-running team, but once they get one goal, they want more. Very selfish of them, by the way. No, I'm just kidding, but Bragg just set the puck down to relieve a little bit of pressure, but Eden Prairie started to swarm in the zone. And another late deflection almost fooled Myers, but that shot went wide. So Eden Prairie getting the puck into the right areas and getting in front of the goaltender, so they're doing their job offensively.
This one chipped out ahead toward Valentini, but it was poked away by the Eagles briefly. Sweeney into the offensive zone, trying to work his way around Langfels. Work its way back around to the near side. Here come the Eagles. Rudd root through neutral ice, gets it ahead toward Carson Jones. Jones will play it off the end boards. We'll play it back up toward the point in Langfeld. That'll sneak by him, and that'll go all the way down for an icing.
Well, Hopkins just has to kind of get back to defending a little bit better. They have to push everything to the outside. Now Eden Prairie's getting kind of between the dots in the offensive zone, so they can kind of push the focus and force them to the outside. They're going to have better chance for success, at least get out of the zone. But that's a challenge in front of Hopkins, is just get out of their zone cleanly. If they can get possession and speed, that bodes quite well. Not from lack of effort. It's just Eden Prairie brought their A game today.
The Eagles almost able to that was almost cleared out by Hopkins as it comes loose out front. Hopkins able to pick it up with Gozic. Gozic turns it back up ice as he gets knocked off the puck nicely, but then coming in offside is Renier. Almost getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. That was a nice job by Luke Middlestead to hold up that play at the line, but Hopkins almost able to get a chance there.
Well, Gozic, he's no stranger to traffic. He doesn't shy away. He doesn't always skate for the open areas. He has the talent to kind of get through some muddy waters. But as you said, it was Renier that just snuck in a little bit before the play, so hence face-off outside the Eden Prairie zone. Eden Prairie's just been lights out in the dots tonight.
Langfels gets it down to Wilhite on the near side. It was out of his reach. It'll go off the end board. It'll work its way behind the Hopkins net. Centering feed, unable to control it out front. I think that was Holt who snuck in the middle there. The Eagles
penalty. Nope.
Unable to take this one away. If not had a penalty called in this game, speaking of such infractions.
I never should have brought it up. Now it's going to be a trail to the penalty box, but no, it's just a delayed offside. There was some contact, and the referee's arm went out, but he was acting as a linesman, so I kind of misinterpreted what he was saying. But 2-1 lead, Eden Prairie Eagles. 8:26 left in the second period. The second period's really been all Eden Prairie, so Hopkins not too many whiffs down in the zone, so Roseland's had a pretty easy period so far, but Hopkins just has to get out of their zone with some speed and some possession. Here we go. Good start.
Come the Royals the other way. This went up toward Valentini, but it's poked back the other direction. Now to the near side boards. It's played now in the Eagle zone. Get up ahead toward Holt. Holt will play this one ahead. And a good job to keep forcing that puck ahead by the Eagles as Wilhite almost able to force it ahead. Jensen gets it up toward Wilhite. Wilhite working its way. Oh, what a move. Wilhite might have gotten this one in on Myers, who holds on.
Well, it was a nice chip pass by Jensen. Kind of sprung Wilhite free, and he was actually doing a pretty good job of, and I don't know if it was Sweeney or Hadley that he was going against, but he put the puck in the in the skates and just skated to an area and got a pretty good look on Myers, but Myers did a nice job of focusing, staying in front of that puck, holding on to it. Just under 8 minutes now to go, but Eden Prairie getting their looks, but Hopkins is doing a pretty good job of actually contesting this Eden Prairie squad in their own zone.
Hopkins not quite able to clear the zone, as Jones doing a great job of tying this one up, and he'll force this puck back deep into the Royal zone. What a defensive play by Carson Jones, Bart.
Well, they're winning the battles to the loose pucks, and once they get there, they're winning the stick battles as well. So Eden Prairie, as I said, has been the better team this period.
Oh, and then Schultz drove in, went to the backhand, trying to stuff it under Myers. Couldn't quite get it through him, but Eden Prairie again maintaining the offensive zone pressure. Comes around to Krebsbach on the near side corner. Jones centers it, as the clear attempt was deflected back down to the near side. Eden Prairie again able to hold. Now finally able to be sent back out to neutral, but Eden Prairie will reset, dump it back in, and then a shot ripped up into the stands.
Wow, and that was Schultz that actually sent a missile up into the fans. Nobody looks like they're any worse for the wear, but kind of an owly moment for the spectators. But it just seems like Hopkins is getting into the area where they're playing a little hot potato with the puck. They're not holding out of the puck. They're getting ready to very, very quickly, just trying to get through the minor challenges, especially in their own zone. But they have to have better spacing. So once they do get the puck, they have an option in which to move the puck forward. So far, Eden Prairie's just been smothering.
Tonight's game also brought to you by Shirts Unlimited, T&T's, shirts with a Z, unlimited.com. As Rudrud sends this one back toward the offensive zone as he gets it to Batchelder, who scores. What a job by Rudrud to feed that one through the two blue jerseys to Batchelder, who rips it home.
Well, and for Batchelder, that's going to be his 5th goal. An offensive player, you'd think he'd have more, but he does so many things for the Eden Prairie team. But it was actually Rudrud that really put the screws to J.J. Martin and pushed the play forward. And Rudrud, not a small man, so very difficult for Martin to try to contain. He just pushed it out, and it was Batchelder that actually beat Myers, the goaltender. It's 3-1. Just under 7 minutes to go in the second period. Now the lead is 2, and Eden Prairie, I don't think they're going to change the way they're playing, but this Hopkins team just has to push the puck forward, and if that means gaining the red line and just dumping it deep and getting after it, that's what they're going to have to do, but getting that red line's been their challenge so far.
Played around the Hopkins net. Rudrud centering feed goes off the side of the net. Batchelder again comes through, almost has this one poked away from him, and then able to be held in again by Eden Prairie. Rudrud will end up with it. Rudrud centering feed, they score! As John Middlestead able to catch up to this one, it's 4-1.
Now the goals are coming in bunches, and for John Middlestead, that's goal number 11. But now the onslaught is on. It's just once Eden Prairie gets this kind of energy and this kind of confidence, and they're not afraid to make a mistake. It's a very difficult team to play against, and I think Bakken's going to pull the goaltender, Ethan Myers. It's not Myers' fault. Myers actually has played pretty well. It's just wave after wave after wave of Eagles. Now we're going to see Zach Hayes, a sophomore, 4-11 so far this year, 5.18 goals against average and a .878. But he gets a dubious distinction coming in cold halfway through the second period. Now it's 4-1 Eden Prairie, and they have the energy.
And Hayes, who got the bulk of the starts during the season, he has the 4-11 mark coming into, well, I guess you could say they about 50-50 split almost with the two, but we got the announcement about the goal as Gazic rolls in his own zone. Gazic with nice work getting around the Eden Prairie defender, but then Will Light able to take it away, gets it to Holt. Holt, though, knocked off the puck as he gained the offensive zone. As Jensen gets it down to Argetsinger. It's Cam Langfells. Langfells will be able to push this one in, but it's blocked. And Hopkins able to get it back out to neutral ice. Gazic, though, getting knocked off the puck as he entered his offensive zone.
Well, Argetsinger's got such a big stick zone that it was hard for Gazic to get through him.
Bringing it back the other direction is Halligan. Halligan into the offensive zone for Hopkins. He'll play this one around. Argetsinger will take it away. As Argetsinger will come away with it, and here come the Eagles back up ice, and Argetsinger whiffing on the pass as it's chipped up toward the red line. Holt able to get this one to Jensen. Jensen working its way in. Oh, what a good job to get in the way of that one by James as it's sent back out to neutral ice. As James will collect this one in the Hopkins zone. Go down to Bragg on the near side. Bragg getting this one out through the red line. Jones takes it away. Jones for Eden Prairie, rather, as it's back out. Here's Carson Jones back with it once again. He gets it back from Langfels. Good job by Jackson Jones to take it away at the blue line. Here come the Eagles into the offensive zone where Langfels takes a big hit as he started to lose control of that puck as it's sent back out by Hopkins. Back to pick it up deep in his own zone is Schultz. Schultz will try to rip a pass as he tried to set up Krebsbach, but that was out of his reach, and then he'll go for an icing.
Well, I think Schultz just got rid of that a little bit quicker than he wanted to, and it was Valentini and Sweeney that was closing in. He wanted to get the right winger, and I believe that was Krebsbach or Lilliard, but just kind of misfired. So face-off going to come all the way down into the Eden Prairie zone. Coach Lee Smith opts to change his forward lines. It's going to be Jensen, Holt, and Wilhite that's going to come out against the Sweeney line. But Hopkins needs to win this face-off, put some pressure on.
Schultz plays this one back up the far side board, able to be held in by Hopkins with a long shot blocked. Schultz gets it to Wilhite, to Jensen. Jensen back to Wilhite, who sent a shot wide as it pops up toward the slot area. Horton with a shot through. That one was saved with the glove by Hayes. Comes down to the near side. Schultz gets it back to the corner as he gets bottled up by Martin. Jensen able to get it back to Horton. Then to cross ice for Schultz. Schultz through traffic, blocked, centering feed blocked, comes back out on the side of the net and now taken away by Sweeney.
Boy, nice defense by Hadley on that one for Hopkins.
Schultz able to send this one back through. 3:40 to go here in the second period. Hopkins took a 1-0 lead at 55 seconds here of the second period, but Eden Prairie
here we go
with a big-time response as Sweeney trying to catch up to this one as it's played around back to the far side by the Eagles.
Boy, they had a 2-on-1 that just hopped over Sweeney's stick, so fortunate break for Eden Prairie.
It's Rudrud up the near side into the offensive zone for Eden Prairie. Rudrud circling. Rudrud centering feed and then whiffing on it on the backside was Batchelder. Batchelder who had the second goal of the game, I believe, for Eden Prairie. With the Eagles up 2-1 here in the second period. It's Horton, gets it down to Rudrud. It's Middlestead into the offensive zone. Middlestead on his way, and Middlestead with a shot that's saved and then cleared out just in front of the on-charging Batchelder.
That was a good save by Hayes on that one. Kind of misdirection on that, but he got his body in front of it. Coming in cold, he's done a pretty good job so far.
James will play this one all the way down for an icing. Tonight's game also brought to you by Green Mill and Eden Prairie, Twin Cities' best deep dish pizza and sports bar. Green Mill of Eden Prairie. 2:39 to go here in the second period. 4-1 Eagles with the lead. Offensive zone face-off coming.
Well, it's a big moment for Hopkins. If they can get out of this period, maybe punch one in or at least get out moving forward, they have to feel pretty good about the finish on this period, but both teams want to finish strong.
Rudrud gets knocked off the puck as he gained the offensive zone. He tried to fight for it, but it was sent back the other way by Noah Junker. It's Rudrud. He got tied up at the blue line. There's a shot that'll waffle its way down to the near side corner as Luke Middlestead had worked his way in. They come back out to neutral. Rudrud will get it back to Middlestead. Middlestead working his way in. Batchelder. Batchelder's shot goes off the side of the net. Back over to James on the near side. James trying to clear it back out. We have a stoppage of play here with 1:49 to go in the period.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a tripping penalty. Just a question of who that penalty is going to be on. But I thought it was on Hopkins, so to speak. He's going to corral somebody out of off the bench, and I think it's going to be Jack Slattery. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to charge the young man, but Slattery actually made a really nice play previous to that. But it looks like it's going to be Bragg that's being summoned to the penalty box, but a tripping penalty for the Hopkins Royals puts Eden Prairie in the power play. 26.6 power play and a 78.2 penalty kill for Hopkins.
The first power play of the game for either team was the only other penalties we had were those coincidental minors back in the first period. As John Middlestead gets it back to the corner. Jensen trying to center it, but it just sneaks through as it's cleared out to neutral ice by Jack Stussy. Back to pick it up in his own zone is Luke Middlestead. Middlestead will work his way back around to the near side. Middlestead with speed. He'll gain the offensive zone. He'll try to work his way. Oh, what a move! And he just missed on the shot on the back door. Play continues. Here's Middlestead with it again. So back to John Middlestead. Jensen working his way in, centering feed, sneaks through everybody up to the far side boards. For a minute to go now in the period. John Middlestead winds up. There's a save by Hayes. It works its way up into the corner. It's intense offensive pressure here on the power play. Here's a shot. That was saved by Hayes. Rebound just out of the reach of Wilhite on the Langfeld shot. Holt looking his way in. Holt making a move. He tries to chip this one down toward Hayes. It'll work its way around the net once again. 37.7 to go in the period. 46 in the Eden Prairie power play. John Middlestead with it. Middlestead, cross ice! Off the side of the net on the shot attempt. Able to be held in again by the Eagles. Langfeld with a shot save. Second chance. They score as Wilhite able to follow up on the rebound. It's a power play goal. It's a 5-1 lead. 5-goal second period for Eden Prairie.
Well, Eden Prairie was taking advantage of a lot of open ice out there. It was Hopkins that was kind of sagging to one side, really leaving a lot of space, and Eden Prairie winning the battles to the loose puck, moving the puck very efficiently. But it was Wilhite that finished that one out. That's goal number 10, so he gets to a nice level as it stands. I really love the way Wilhite's contributed to the Eden Prairie squad. But now it boosts the lead 5-1, just 18.2 seconds left. Your heart has to go out for Hopkins. It's not from lack of effort, but this Eden Prairie team is just moving the puck very efficiently.
Chip back out, able to be held in. Under 10 seconds to go as Krebsbach rips a shot high over the net up into the protective netting. Offensive zone face, or their neutral zone face-off coming as Krebsbach's shot was not aided by any of those blue jerseys. So 8.2 to go. As Carson Jones will take the face-off for Eden Prairie. Jones able to force his way into the offensive zone, and then he rips a shot up into the netting over the top of the net.
Boy, for not having any goals in the first period, they've sure made up for it in bunches. But it was Wilhite with his 10th from Holt and Keegan Langfels. Keegan Langfels with two helpers on the last two goals. Spencer Rudwood with the two primaries. So everybody contributing. And Keegan Langfels, I believe that's his third assist of the period. So Eden Prairie really flexing their offensive muscles. Looks like Hopkins is just kind of in a survival mode as it stands right now. But 5-1 going into the locker room for the second intermission. Hopkins just has to tighten up in the zone and have a little bit more better positioning, better spacing, giving themselves an option as far as coming out of the zone. But Eden Prairie, they're winning the battles to the pucks. They're winning the face-offs. They're really doing a lot of things I think that Coach Lee Smith had on his agenda coming into it. So I think a lot of those boxes have been checked, but Eden Prairie really came to play today.
So Eden Prairie, or rather Hopkins, came into the second period. They played such a great first, and they took the lead. They were finally rewarded for their great efforts, and unfortunately just not quite able to sustain that. These Eagles just too much so far in that second period. They put up 5 unanswered after that goal took place.
Well, and Patrick, possession is a great defender, and Eden Prairie hasn't really been called upon to play too much defense tonight because they possess the puck so much. I think that's the onus that Hopkins has to address is just possession, getting the puck on their stick and giving himself some options to move the puck up the ice. But so far, positioning Eden Prairie's really cut the ice in half and not allowing this Hopkins team to get past the checkered line. And when they do, it's not a situation where they have a scoring opportunity. So Eden Prairie playing very sound defense, but the challenge is in front of Hopkins to answer back. 5-1 going into the second intermission, but Hopkins got some work to do.
So we're going to take a break and come back with the puck drop for the third period in about, 10 to 15 minutes when the ice is finished being resurfaced. You're watching MNHockey.tv coverage of Eden Prairie Hockey. MNHockey.tv, your radio internet home for the two AA semifinals and finals, as well as all of the action from St. Paul in March.
I'm Callie Funk. I'm the program director for the Herb Brooks Foundation, and I've been with the foundation since January of 2017, so a little over a year and a half. I think that Herb Brooks would be very proud of the program. He always talked about building it from the ground up, and I think that's exactly what we're doing here. We're having youth participate, and they can start whenever they'd like. And we're not trying to make that pyramid. We're trying to just keep the base growing all the way up. And I think he'd really be proud of what we're doing here.
The Hopkins Foundation started the Rink Rep program over 10 years ago to give the kids a chance to play the game my dad loves so much. Our Rink Rep program is supposed to be fun. Gotta smile. Remember, it's just a game. Get out and exercise. Play all year round. Play on the ice. Play in your driveway. Play at school. We just hope that you love the game.
So we really try to emphasize the importance of Herb Brooks and the 1980 Miracle team within our program. Herb Brooks stood for a lot of different valuable life lessons, and so we really want to instill the importance of positivity, teamwork, and really coming together as a team in order to meet one common goal.
The Herb Brooks Foundation started the Rink Rep program over 10 years ago. We started it to really keep my dad's legacy alive with children. His philosophy always was to give the game back to the kids and learn to love the game the way he grew up playing, and that was with his buddies out on Lake Phelan, playing street hockey, just those pickup games. And we wanted to have that atmosphere built in for these young children. Instead of structured association hockey, we wanted to get the kids back playing. At the end of the Rink Rat session, we hope kids take away from the program, number one, friends. I hope they made friends and had fun. And we hope they have a true love for the game, the way that we love the game. We have had several kids go on to play association hockey from our inner city Rink Rat programs. We've educated parents on how to enroll their kids in association hockey. Some of them didn't even know there was such a thing.
So we currently are mostly involved in Minneapolis, and that's all areas of Minneapolis. We have a couple schools in North Minneapolis, South Minneapolis, Northeast, and in St. Paul. Last winter we were working out of Phelan, Harding, and the new Tria rink in St. Paul. So we really try to cover a broad area so that we can include as many kids as possible. So the best way I think to reach out and get involved would be to visit our website, herbrooksfoundation.com. You can find all of our information about the Rink Rats programs, any clinics we have in the spring or summer or fall. You can also find contact information for the foundation, as well as many different links to pictures, events such as the Sticks in Stillwater, the golf tournament, Let's Play Hockey Expo, and there's also a good following for our volunteer base as well.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back inside the Eden Prairie Community Center, where the Eagles lead at 5-1. Didn't have much of a summary for Bart to give us after that first period, but we gave him a lot of work to do during that second, so let's hear it, Bart.
Yeah, I got a little writer's cramp, Patrick, but it was actually Hopkins that opened the scoring at the 54-second mark. It was Gasage from James, and then Eden Prairie started their onslaught at the 128 mark. It was Arkinsinger from Jones and Cam Langfels. Then at 6:42, it was Jack Jensen with his 31st from Horton and Keegan Langfels. And then at the 10-12 mark, it was Batch Elder from Rudrud and Luke Middlestadt. And then at the 10:37 mark, it was John Middlestadt scoring his 10th from Rudrud and Keegan Langfels. And then it was Will Height that rounded out the scoring for this Eagles edition. 10th goal from Holt and Keegan Langfeld at 16:33 on the power play. I'd like to give a shout out and wish luck to Noah VM and the Minnetonka Sea Blues as they play Prior Lake tonight in the Eden Prairie tournament. So good luck to you guys. Hopefully you have success. But the third period, I think if you're Coach David Bakken and the coaching staff for Hopkins, you just want to have a good third period, get 17 minutes of good solid Hopkins hockey action. And if you're Eden Prairie, you just want to continue as you're going. Sometimes when you get big numbers on the board, you change your game a little bit. It's up to the Eden Prairie to just play Eden Prairie Eagles hockey and don't try to get individual and get your name on the score sheet. Just keep playing like you've been playing.
Yes, tonight's game also sponsored by Tradition Companies for all your home, mortgage, wealth management, and banking and home building needs. TraditionCo.com. Thank all our sponsors for tonight and the season here on Eden Prairie Hockey.
Absolutely.
Shirts Unlimited, Walzer Toyota, Tavern 4 and 5, Tavern on 4 and 5. Tradition Companies, Tria, and Green Mill. Thanks for your wonderful patronage of Eden Prairie Hockey and helping us get these broadcasts on the air all season long. To those 6 wonderful companies who hung out with us. There's a shot that goes high over the net by Luke Middlestadt. It's Holt back to Middlestadt. There's a shot that'll go wide as Langfels wound up, and that caroms all the way back out into the neutral zone. It's Middlestadt back to get it up toward Holt. Holt will play this one down toward Jensen. Jensen centering feed, wide out for a blast from the blue line, and whiffing on it was Cam Langfels. In front of the Hopkins bench. Poke down into the Eden Prairie defensive zone where Haberman trying to play it around. Cam Langfels gets to it first. It's loose out in front and now poked back the other direction. Batchelder trips as he gained the offensive zone. It's loose along the near side boards. As this one sent up to the far side by Argetsinger, and he'll play it around the Hopkins net down to the near side. Is John Middlestadt getting it back to Argetsinger. Argetsinger through traffic, it deflects up top and now down into the circle. We'll back to the influence owners Gazic, who has the lone Hopkins goal, and he takes a big hit as he gained the offensive zone. Rudrud takes the pass. Rudrud, here comes Eden Prairie. 3-on-2 into the offensive zone. Here's Middlestadt. Going to get it behind him, but Jensen through traffic, snagged by Hayes. He'll grab it with the glove as he was sliding backwards.
Well, actually, that was Clayton Schultz that took that shot from the left hash, and it was Schultz that blew up Gossage coming into the zone. So nice defensive play, and then he comes in, and it was John Middlestadt that actually put it on a stick, and pretty athletic play to even get that shot on goal. Nice save by Zach Hayes. I'd like to say hello to Artem from St. Petersburg, Russia. Glad to have you aboard, Artem. Appreciate you joining us today for a little high school hockey action. And like to say hi to Aubrey Rosalind from Tacoma, Washington. Appreciate you having us aboard. And Axel Rosalind's played a nice game when challenged tonight. Hopefully you can keep that one on the scoreboard. But once again, thank you for joining us.
Not sure if Pete got this one in the beginning of the game. We also had our buddy Barton from Great Britain tuned in as well. John Sands was telling us about that one early on in the pregame show.
I don't think we got that one, so good catch, Patrick.
Up on the far side corner as Jones trying to fight his way through. Carson Jones getting tied up along the far side boards. It pokes its way back down to the corner. Sweeney getting it up toward his teammate where it's deflected back the other direction. That was Stussy who was trying to spring as Hopkins clears it out for an icing.
Boy, that was a healthy slash by one of the Royals players on an Eden Prairie, so they kind of got away with one. But face-off all the way down into the Hopkins Royal zone, 13:59, so just a tick under 14 minutes left in regulation time. Eden Prairie up by 5-1. But it looks like this Hopkins team has a little bit more focus, but again, a defensive zone face-off again for Hopkins, but they won that draw.
Hopkins, though, unable to clear the zone as Jensen forces it back the other way. Middlesit able to hold. As Wilhite plays this one around. Holt trying to center it, but he only found a blue jersey. As Hopkins brings it back the other direction with Renier. Renier will play this one in. It'll work its way around the net as Langfels will take it ahead of Gozic. Played around to the near side corner. Langfels will end up with the puck. Langfels getting it up toward Jensen, but I think he whiffed on it a little bit. Gozic ends up taking it back into the offensive zone where Wilhite able to take it away from him. Wilhite chips this one up ahead toward Holt. Holt into the offensive zone. Holt with a shot save by Hayes.
Boy, it was a good save by Hayes. It was Holt that actually used Jensen as a decoy. Put a pretty good shot on goal, but nice save by Hayes.
Langfels gets it back to Wilhite. Wilhite with a shot. That was saved by Hayes as well as it pops down harmlessly on the front of the goaltender and then swept down to the near side boards.
They keep trying to go short side under the bar on Hayes. So far, he's denied him each time.
Wilhite able to take it away. Wilhite, cross-ice pass for Luke Middlesit. Middlesit with a shot. That was saved by Hayes as well. Poked up to the far side corner. Middlesit able to hold in front of the Hopkins bench. Back to Langfels. Langfels through traffic. They score. There was no reaction from the crowd. I think they'll give that one to Langfels anyway as Langfels took that long shot through traffic. I think the crowd was just as surprised as everybody else.
Well, and I'm not sure. We'll go with the Langfels, but Wilhite was in the area. The puck was redirected. It's just a question whether it went off a Hopkins player or Wilhite out front. But now it's 6-1. But you're right. There wasn't much of a celebration on that one. He looked like he'd been there before. But Keegan Langfels really been an offensive dynamo tonight. He's really been involved in a lot of plays, got a lot of shots on goal. That one counted. We'll wait for the official scoring.
Hopkins drives the face-off into the offensive zone before having it sent back out into the neutral zone. We'll give Langfels credit for the goal. As Argetsinger's pass out of everybody's reach, it'll work its way down into the Hopkins zone where Batchelder working on trying to take that one away. It's back to Cam Langfels at the point. And just sneaking through on the back door with Middlesit trying to tip that one behind the goaltender. Couldn't quite catch up to it in time. Here's Middlesit behind the net. Middlesit still working his way around. He gets it back around to Rudrud. Rudrud still working with it. Rudrud reverses direction, gets a beautiful centering feed to Batchelder, who just shot one wide. As Hayes might have gotten the pad on that one as it's flipped up into the public address box.
Well, Spencer Rudrud getting a lot of respect from Hopkins. He was walking up the left wall and really uncontested, so he turned and fired, brought it back into the zone. But Hopkins is going to have to get on them earlier and take better angles on these Eden Prairie forwards. Otherwise, it's going to be a longer night than it is. But Eden Prairie it doesn't matter which line is out there. They have a nice forward push, and everybody's going at the same cadence. So Eden Prairie just coming in waves. Hopkins done a pretty good job of fending them off, but just a redirect is the only tally we had this period. But 6-1 Eden Prairie, just 11:35 left in this third period.
Was Lilliard from the previous play able to push it toward Hayes on the face-off, who was forced to cover it up. Eden Prairie back with it. Here's Cam Langfels. Langfels in the neutral zone will play this one down in deep, and it'll work its way around the net. Hayes will play it back around to the far side. Valentini. As Krebsbach will play this one back through behind the net. It comes back around toward Langfels on the near side. Langfels trying to get it up toward Jones. Royals, though, able to play it back down to the near side. Now here's Sweeney into the offensive zone. Sweeney with a shot saved by Rosenlund.
Well, Sweeney did a nice job to battle with Lilliard. He won that foot race and really kind of used his body to limit Lilliard's forward progress. Got a pretty good shot on Rosenlund, but Rosenlund outside the blue made a pretty easy save on that one, but it was a good shot on goal. Good effort by Sweeney moving the puck forward. 10:56 left to go.
Kind of funny, last year we did an Eden Prairie game. I don't remember where. Well, it was here, but I don't remember who they played. Someone for another broadcast service came up to me before the game and pointed at Lilliard's name and asked, "How do you say that?" And I gave him an idea. I said, "Well, it's remarkably similar to my own, so I'm pretty sure that's what you're going for." Well, of course, I can't say for sure, but as Hopkins playing this one through the neutral zone. And circling back is Gozic. Gozic working his way into the offensive zone. There's a shot that'll go wide as he got that one down to Haberman, who had a good look at the net there.
Penalty on Eden Prairie.
It's Hopkins chips this one in toward Rosenlund, who holds on. We'll have a offensive zone face-off as Hopkins will go on their first power play.
Well, as Gozic did a nice job of managing his way through the neutral zone. Once he got into the Eden Prairie zone, it was Schultz that actually put the body on him, but nobody's volunteering to go to the penalty box for Eden Prairie as it stands right now. But I don't know. I think it's a roughing penalty, and it's going to be on Schultz. I thought that was a pretty good check, but again, the referee saw it a little bit differently. They have a better proximity than I do, but a good opportunity for Hopkins to get something positive to happen on the power play. A paltry 11.2. They certainly have the wherewithal, but that's a number that they'd like to improve on moving into sections. But a great opportunity now to cut the lead from 6-1, 6-2, and they have their big guns out there. Coach Lee Smith opts to change some personnel, but face off to Rosenlund's right. 10-10 left to go in the third period.
Poked up into the corner as it almost chipped out of the offensive zone by they score as it came free in front of the net, and Jack Stussy able to backhand it in. That was Middlestead, who couldn't quite clear it initially, and Hopkins able to cash in on the power play.
Well, Rosenlund made the initial save. The rebound came out. Nobody blocked him out, and it was Jack Stussy, the senior forward, scoring his 11th just up under the bar. A nice shot by Stussy. That's going to give him a little positive. They're working awful hard out there as far as the Royals, but now they get some benefits in getting some reward for their hard work. But on the power play, it was Stussy with his 11th.
Now 6-2, Eden Prairie with the lead with now just under 10 minutes to play. The goal coming at exactly 7 minutes here of the third period. Here's Middlestead back into the offensive zone, working his way up the near side boards. There's Holt working his way in. Holt dribbling this one down, and then it's just pushed wide.
Boy, that might have kissed off the post, too. A little bit of a late redirect on that one. Holt took the shot. I think it was Wilhite that did the redirect, but I think that kissed off the post. So Hopkins able to perhaps maintain a little energy that they got from that goal, but Eden Prairie, nice pushback. Nice answer on that one. That's what good teams do.
An offensive zone face-off for Eden Prairie coming. 9:34 to go in the final period. They lead at 6-2. They scored 6 unanswered goals. Beginning in the second period, Hopkins took a 1-0 lead. Didn't last very long as Langfell's shot rips into Hayes, who makes the save and holds on.
A little better job of blocking out by this Hopkins Royals team. Allowed Hayes to see that shot. He came out and received that one in the crest. Held on to it, but plenty of support down low. But Hopkins, nice job of blocking him out, giving their goaltender a chance to see it.
Wilhite back to winding up for a blast, and they score!
Oh, that was a snipe.
Langfeld rips one from the point. It's 7-2.
Well, Keegan Langfell's 2 goals and 3 assists on the game. He's having a big night, but just a blast from the point. We'll wait for the official scoring, but I think it was Keegan Langfeld. So that'll be goal number 6, number 7 on the year. But a big blast from the big clapper from the point. I'm not sure Zach Hayes, the sophomore goaltender, saw that. We'll wait for the official scoring.
So Eden Prairie restores the 5-goal lead with 9:19 to go in regulation. They now lead at 7-2. With a score that they lost by on Thursday night at Edina and Braemar Arena. So they now have a 7-2 lead here in this game as Carson Jones trying to push this one up ahead toward John Middlestead, who forces it into the offensive zone. Or Halligan plays it up to the far side. Rudrud able to take it away. Rudrud will work his way around back to the near side corner. Rudrud will play it back into the corner. Or Middlestead trying to force it ahead toward Wilhite. Wilhite thought about the wraparound, but that was nicely blocked off. They score! Again, I'm not sure how that one threaded through.
Well, and I don't rely on me for a description on that one, but it was from behind the end line, and it just came out. I must have caromed off either the goaltender or a skate or a stick, but I don't think they care. But it looks like Jones might get credit for that one. We'll wait again for the official scoring. They're coming in bunches right now. Now it's 8-2, 8:40 left in regulation time. I think if you're Hopkins, you just want to kind of get through this final 8:40. But Eden Prairie, boy, they're putting on an offensive show tonight.
We're looking ahead to the future for Hopkins. We'll have Tom Gozic for another season as he has now the co-leader in scoring for this season. It will be Sweeney who moves on following this season, the senior. But Gozic will stick around for another year. Well, I think Hopkins certainly, I know the record's not very good, and some certain things just not working, but they have some pieces.
Well, indeed they do, and it's a process. The thing about high school hockey, it's a different edition every year, and that's part of its charm. But when you graduate seniors, you rely on your underclassmen to come in and fill those roles, and they're trending the right direction. I think the coaching staff for the Royals have put out a good competitive product. Obviously, today is a bit of an aberration to a certain degree, but playing in the Lake Conference is not an easy conference to play in. But they're trending the right direction. So Hopkins, just keep on the path that you're going and keep being competitive. But we appreciate their effort tonight. It's Rudwood with his 13th from Jones at 9:20 was the official scoring in that last goal.
Play moves along the far near side boards, poked back into the Hopkins zone. The battle continuing on those near side boards, and then Batchelder comes out with it and ends up ripping a shot on goal that was saved by Hayes. It'll send back into the neutral zone where Langfeld will dump it in deep. It'll work its way around the net. On the far side boards. Hopkins able to take it away there as it goes off the skate of Sweeney trying to spring him. Go back out into the neutral zone. Langfels. Back into the corner. Batchelder. It'll work its way back up as Hadley will get to it first. Batchelder, though, able to take it away. Valentini gets it ahead into the neutral zone for Stussy. Stussy works his way into the offensive zone where Holt knocks the puck away from him. Back in the corner. Comes back out to the near side boards. There's Holt. Into the offensive zone. He tried to work his way around. There's a shot that's saved by Hayes as Schultz had worked his way into the slot.
Well, it was Holt that showed some active feet, and it really drew out all the defenders for Hopkins. They all migrated toward Holt. He left the puck for Jensen, and from the almost the right dot, he put a pretty good shot on Hayes, but Hayes received that one nearly a second chance, so kind of a trying moment for Hopkins, but nice save by Hayes on the goal scorer, Jack Jensen, who has 31 on the year, so no stranger to putting those shots on goal.
We're about to go under 6 minutes to play here in regulation. Hopkins carries it back through the neutral zone. Here's Gozic into the offensive zone. Schultz almost knocked the puck away from him. That was really good strength there by Tom Gozic to be able to maintain possession of that puck with Schultz basically put the stick right on the biscuit.
Well, once he got past him, too, the puck jumped over his stick. Otherwise, he might have gone in all alone. So kind of unfortunate for the Hopkins forward.
Centering feed toward Will White. Backhand shot by Holt goes wide. Holt racing to catch up to it. It'll come back around to the area, but near the net as Gozic comes away with it. We have 2 players down, 1 for each team, and the play is stopped with 5:20 to go and counting with the running time. Eden Prairie up by 6.
Well, Gozic, one thing I like about him is he's not afraid to take matters into his own hands, but it looks like his Holt is getting up a little bit slow. Obviously a point of concern at this juncture of the game, but Gozic showing some life and showing some spirit, trying to navigate his way through traffic. He's not shy about carrying the puck, and I think that's what Hopkins needs a little bit more of, is just some players that aren't afraid to make a mistake or to carry the puck through traffic. But it looks like it's going to be a penalty to Hopkins, and it looks like Holt is going to be okay, which is obviously good news for Eden Prairie faithful and the coaching staff as well. But it's going to be Sammy Haberman, the senior for Hopkins, going to spend 2 minutes in the box, just as you said, Patrick. Just 5:07 left in this period, and the clock has indeed stopped.
Off the face-off, still loose in the circle. We'll push back along the far side boards. Down the Royals with speed, short-handed the other way. Is nice job by Argetsinger to take that puck away. It'll get it back out to neutral ice. Argetsinger gets it ahead to Batchelder. Batchelder as the puck slide down into the corner. We're back out toward Rudroot as Batchelder trying to hold the zone as it floats past him. Schultz with Sweeney behind him. And we have a penalty coming here against Hopkins.
I think it's just offsides. A delayed offsides, Patrick.
Okay.
A long time coming.
As Hopkins able to clear this one all the way down. 1:15 to go in the power play, with 4:20 in the period. This is Rudroot into the offensive zone. Rudroot working his way around. Schultz winding up for a shot through traffic. Hayes makes the save and then able to dive on it.
Well, as Rudwood, they took the big skate. Nobody really challenged him. Obviously, being a man down, they want to pick their spots as far as when to challenge. They kept him to the outside, but then he put the puck on Clayton Schultz's stick, and he let a rocket go from just inside the blue line. But Hayes with a nice job of tracking that puck. Rebound kind of danced, so he made himself big. Reached out for it, face off to his right, just 33 seconds and counting to the penalty to Haberman for the Royals.
Luke Middlestit, is this one taken away from him?
Here we go.
Here's Gozic, shorthanded into the offensive zone. Gozic, save by Rosenlund.
Well, it's a nice challenge by Luke Middlestat, but Gaz's got some wheels. It was Middlestat that kind of went stride for stride, at least interrupted him enough to make him a mildly uncomfortable. He got the shot on goal, but Rosenlund, good positioning, received that puck. And we're going to, at the drop of the puck, we're going to get Haberman back for the Hopkins Royals. Just 3:07 and counting left in regulation time. If you just joined us, 8-2, Eden Prairie putting on a clinic as far as how to finish plays from the second period on. But now we're back to 5-on-5.
As Hopkins able to hold the zone to play it around towards Sweeney. Sweeney trying to center it. Valentini saved by Rosenlund.
Boy, that was a good save. Actually, high on Rosenlund. He did a nice job of corralling that puck. I think it actually rolled down into his blocker. So he didn't have much choice but to hold on to that one. But it was a pretty good sequence by Hopkins. Got a good shot on goal, but Rosenlund made a nice save.
Off the face-off. There's a shot that's blocked, and here come the Eagles. Batchelder into the offensive zone. Batchelder getting it to Jones. Jones saved by Hayes. The centering feed toward Jones once again. The centering feed again toward Batchelder. Just a little bit out of his reach. Lilliard, they'll take a shot. That one saved by Hayes. Lilliard takes his own rebound. Goes back around to Jones. Jones trying to thread this one through to the center. It'll be poked up to the far side. And Horton unable to hold the zone. It comes back to Middlestit on the near side. Middlestit driving in. He'll work his way around the net as Hayes able to dive on that one.
Boy, Luke Middlestat, if he can kind of continue, now nobody's going to expect him to get 2 goals, 3 assists from the games moving forward, but he's been such an offensive force tonight. He showed good patience on that one, didn't rush that play, waited until that player became open, put it right on Jones' stick. Jones, nice redirect, but Hayes with another nice save.
Well, the Middlestit brothers, 2 other guys that we didn't really get to talk about, but both of them will be back next year for Eden Prairie, so well, a lot that's, moving on, but they've, got a lot of really good pieces still coming back.
Well, the nice part about, from the Eden Prairie perspective, is they have, 12 seniors on their roster, but 12 mentors as well. And one thing about Eden Prairie and their success in their program is the continuity between years to years. Lee Smith is no stranger to the changing additions from season to season, and there's always some good continuity, but they have certainly some significant pieces slated to come back, so Eden Prairie is going to be a force for many years, but I think that this is the year that they want to really kind of make some hay, and this is a very focused team. It's nice to have a game like this. I'm not saying this at the expense of Hopkins, but after that drubbing from Edina, you could feel that their dauber was down a little bit, and they left the rink feeling a little bit down. But this is a game. This is a pretty feel-good game where there's a lot of different people involved in the score sheet on a couple of occasions. So they're going to leave this game feeling very confident about their game moving forward. And Coach Lee Smith has his team poised and ready for being a tough sectional opponent, being very tough to play against.
Certainly, you and I, Bart, did a lot of those Eden Prairie games last year. They lost so many close games, so many one-goal games that they played so well in, things just at the end just didn't quite go their way. And, this year took a big step forward. They're going to 14-9-2 as the game officially comes to an end.
But if you look at the 9 losses on the Eden Prairie squad, they do not play an easy schedule by any stretch of the imagination. And they're all generally ranked teams. They even lost to Blake. Blake is a very good team. So, that's why they're maintaining their top 10 ranking with 8 losses on their record, or 9 losses on the record, is because of the competition they play and how they compete against those. But good things to come for Eden Prairie moving into sections. If there's one team that matches up against Minnetonka, I think it's this Eden Prairie team. But Hopkins, they're trending the right direction, as we talked about before, Patrick. Obviously 8-2 is Eden Prairie kind of had their way in the offensive zone. It all started in the second period, but I think there's some good things moving forward. Good coaching staff in place as far as Gino Parrish, Archie Skalbach, and, of course, David Bakken at the helm. But good things to come for this Hopkins Royals team, and bringing STMA in Buffalo into the mix is certainly going to take a little bit of the pressure off them a little bit, but good things to come for Hopkins. We appreciate the effort they gave us tonight. It wasn't from lack of effort. They just ran into a team that was very focused, that has a lot of offensive skill, that can play defense as well. So, Coach Lee Smith, congratulations. A nice win to round out the regular season. Now the challenge is in front of both of these teams. Hopkins can perhaps do some damage, but I think the Eden Prairie team is poised to perhaps make a run with 12 seniors on their roster and all the checks in the right boxes. They just have to play Eagles hockey moving forward.
So we'll wait in the next couple of days to find out who will be going where the seeds are going to be ending up. Eden Prairie, of course, in 2AA, Hopkins in 6AA. Unfortunately, the Royals might be ticketed for an early matchup with the Dino over in that 6AA bracket. We'll see about that.
That's a tough draw.
Well, the Eagles, that's in 2AA. They should probably expect a reasonably high seed. They do have Minnetonka and Wayzata, I believe, in that particular section. So, of course, Minnetonka we expect will be the number one, no question, coming out of that section.
Well, and Edina and Wayzata squared off earlier today, kind of across town. Be curious to see. Don't have any scores on that one yet, but that might be a precursor to that section as well. But this is a really fun time of year, Patrick, as you well know. Once we get into sections, it just seems like the teams recently have been kind of gearing for sections. So the last probably 2 weeks, the pace of play has increased. The focus is a little bit more determined, and more one-on-one battles fought with a little bit more veracity. So I think these teams have been in kind of sectional mode, but now it's time to put the rubber to the road and see how it plans out. But this is a great time of year for high school hockey.
We're speaking of Section 2AA and Eden Prairie. MNHockey.tv will be the home of the radio internet feeds of the 2AA semifinals and finals coming up, as well as your online radio home of all the state tournament action from St. Paul. That'll be exclusively on MNHockey.tv. So for our crew here from the Eden Prairie Community Center, John Sands, Todd Grover, and the best color analyst in the business, Mr. Bart Archer.
Oh, jeez. You're being way too kind.
Well, of course, the voice of Minnesota high school hockey, Pete Wagner, who handed the reins over early on this afternoon. The final score from the Eden Prairie Community Center here on Senior Day, the Eagles 8 and the Hopkins Royals 2. As we said, we'll have coverage of the radio coverage of the 2AA semifinals and finals here on MNHockey.tv. Perhaps these Eagles will be involved in that. We will see how things shake out. Until next time, from an arena near you, so long. This has been Patrick Lilia with you here on MNHockey.tv. As well, once again, for everybody else, have a great night.